Gary's going to kill me. iPhone repair. It's so nice to meet you finally. What's your name?
Wayne.
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 And you have a business repairing iPhones. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Roner Park.
What's the URL?
BrokeMyIPhone.com.
Are you going to be able to repair the new phone?
We do. We already actually have parts in stock.
So Apple sells individual parts.
We do. We get OEM Apple parts. I mean, here I brought a couple. We got a battery here already. And believe it or not, we actually have the front digitizer, a white one, which is not even available in the Apple store.
That's great. So you can replace the screen?
Yeah, we do. Actually, on the iPhone 4, they went back to the old style. The digitizer and the glass are kind of fused together. So,
hey Gary, I just got a text. We have, and Gary, come get your phone if you can get a little time off work, or if you call us. Why don't we call Gary and tell him we'll bring him his phone back? Because I just got a text saying, Gary, why are you ignoring my messages? So let's give Gary back his phone, since we now have. Oh, hey, give him the box too. We now have an actual iPhone in house that we're going to take apart, thanks to our friends at iPhone Urgent Care. 888-990-7555. Or go to brokemyiphone.com. How long have you been doing this?
Since actually I started out with the iPods back in 2006, and we kind of switched over to the iPhones when they came out in 2007.
Were you in the repair business before this?
Pretty much. I worked, with eBay and worked with AT&T. Actually, that's how I got here to California, working with eBay.
Oh, that's neat.
Moved here from North Carolina about 4 years ago now.
Oh, that's really great. Well, I have a Nexus 1, so if I have a Nexus 1 problem, I did actually. The switch, is that common that these switches?
It is. The switches and the LCDs, actually, the OEM LED breaking for no reason at all. So,
say again. Line 4. Camera 4. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, good. So we can. I'll have to fix that screen, but yeah, good. Okay, good. We're just setting up now so we can do this teardown, because we really want to be able to see it as you do it close up. And what kind of tools do you need to take apart the
most of them are just, we order a couple of specialized screwdrivers, but
not Torx or something. No.
I mean, occasionally, the iPad has Torx screws in it, but we thought the new iPhone was going to, but it actually just has normal Phillips screws. So
interesting. All right. Well, you can see if you look over to your left, there's the shot of the table. That's where we're going to do the repair. So if you want to set up and get yourself in a position where you can do that, we're going to take apart an iPhone 4. Now you're going to be able to put it back together again. Is that
actually,
right?
I've taken it. I've had this one for a couple of days, but it's kind of disguised as a 3G.
Oh, so you had an early version of the iPhone, huh?
It's there. And I was in line this morning, and I had to cover it up because everybody was saying, "Oh, I want to see this new iPhone," but I had it covered up to look like a.
So you have a special relationship of some kind with Apple?
We do. Sometimes we do get some parts and stuff a little before consumers, and
so you can learn how to fix it.
Yeah, so we can learn how to take them apart.
Yeah. So this is not Gary. This is not your phone we're taking apart. And you have a special tray there that you use.
Actually, I brought an iPad to shine.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. It looks like that's a disassembled iPad.
It is. I've brought that so we can show you the difference.
So we're going to focus. Let me tell you, we're going to focus on that green towel.
Yeah.
So anything that you want to show the crowd, you just put on that green towel, and we'll get as tight as we can on that green towel so that we can see what you're doing there.
And we'll try to compare that after we get it apart, and you can see this.
Oh, I'd love to do that. So. I really appreciate your doing this. We're going to give you a big plug one more time. iPhone Urgent Care. At just brokemyiphone.com, or you could call 888-990-7555.
And you can follow us on Twitter, Broke My iPhone.
On Twitter, Broke My iPhone.
I
love it. All right, so there it is. There's the iPhone. We're going to get a good shot in here. You're watching, by the way, breaking news coverage on live.twit.tv. We are live right now. On a Thursday morning, about 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to go to Windows Weekly at 11 a.m. Pacific time, of course, but for the next hour and a half, we'll continue our coverage of the iPhone 4 launch. Breaking news coverage on live.twit.tv is brought to you by Slingbox. Use Slingbox to watch your favorite TV shows when you're away from home. To find an in-store demo at a Best Buy near you, visit slingbox.com. And I love what you say on your website. No matter what you're going through, it's not worth a new iPhone. Yeah. You think you could fix pretty much anything, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. If we can't fix it, we don't charge.
We did bring the site down, so I just have to warn you.
Oh, okay.
we got the effect. So we're going to pull back just a little bit, if you would, Ken, so we can see what he's doing here. Now, again, this is just a very tiny screwdriver.
It is. It's like a, they call it like a 000, 00 size. So it's pretty easy. I've taken them apart already. So
you've done this before. I would leave that. I mean, you know, Ken, if you want to be camera operator, you can push and pull. And I'm just going to ask you to keep working really tight to the microphone because we won't be able to hear you.
All right. You can see it's got a battery that's a little bit easier to replace than the previous model.
Now, that's important. That just looks just exactly like a battery in a regular cell phone.
You just pretty much pop the screw off.
Lithium-ion battery. And now, of course, you can't, as an end user, order a battery, although I'm sure there'll be places you can
there may be
eventually.
some aftermarket later on, but right now it's...
So you could pry that out with the... Do you have to remove a screw to get the battery?
Yeah, there's a little tiny screw there, and then it just kind of pops up.
And you just prying it out there with a soft plastic wedge so you don't scratch anything.
And then there it's unplugged, so...
So you have to remove... So this isn't as easy, perhaps, as removing a battery from
it's not.
a regular phone. You have to disconnect it and so forth. But there it is. Is that a bigger battery than we saw on earlier iPhones?
It is. It's about the same thickness. The other one was kind of cut down about half of that. So
same thickness, but boy, that's a big difference. Half the size, What do you think of the internals here? It looks pretty tight.
It is. It's pretty a lot different than the 3G and the 3GS. Actually, now I mean everything's kind of to one side, and before it was kind of pretty much the whole inside of the phone. So
it's it's got a bigger battery. It's got to jam more in. That A4 chip though gives them a lot more room in some ways because so much is built into the chip. We should say once again that this is probably not something you'd want to do to your own iPhone, and it would certainly void the warranty. And unless you have the expertise,
we have a lot of customers that are referred to us directly from the AT&T and the Apple stores, especially if they go in, with water damage or a cracked screen or something.
They won't fix something with water damage, and we should absolutely say that you can buy Apple Care, but it's not going to fix a broken screen. They don't repair,
and that doesn't cover water damage. It covers,
They have, I know a lot of phones have in the phone itself a little piece of paper that tells you when there's water damage.
They do. This one actually, here's one of them kind of right here.
So that turns color when it's been wet?
It will turn red when it's wet. And on this one, there's actually one in the headphone jack.
Hold it down a little lower if you can keep it into the shot there. Yeah, there you go.
There's one here.
So if water gets in there...
There's a little white sensor. Once it gets wet, it turns red. The other one is actually in the charging port. And here, once it gets wet, it turns red.
So they're pretty careful about it.
They are. There are actually 4 of them in this phone and the 3GS.
The minute they see that red, they say, sorry, not under warranty. You got it wet.
Yep.
Even if you have Apple Care.
Even if you have it.
Now, I don't know if you've been hearing us talk about the antenna issue, but if you hold the lower left corner of the case, we've seen it. We've done it.
Yeah, I noticed it yesterday. So.
And can you tell from looking at it that that's the antenna, or
not really? Once we get the logic board out, you'll be able to see kind of the antenna in there.
Okay.
But you can kind of see it once we open it up here.
That seems pretty. I would guess that's something almost any phone. If you could find the antenna, if you
hold your hand over it,
it's gonna reduce the effectiveness of it. So we have seen that. We've demonstrated it now 3 times. I'll demonstrate it one more time before we go home. Do you use it?